Yep, what's good YouTube? Welcome back to Fashion and Blasting. Today I'm just going to show you guys my Benchmade collection from 2025. Happy holidays, happy New Year's to y'all folks. And I just want to show like all the new knives I've been getting in the last couple months. I did my collection about 4 months ago and I added tons of new Benchmades to my collection. About Benchmade as a company, they are made in the USA. And that's good because it keeps the Americans working. They also get a lot of their metal from CPM, which is Crucible. They're actually going bankrupt right now. Hopefully they can make it through this. But I've been trying to pick up as many American steels from Crucible as possible before they go bankrupt or they might not be a company anymore. Also with Benchmade, they have a Life Sharp warranty. And they have a great warranty. That's a good thing, like when you're spending such high prices. Benchmades are not cheap by far, but they make great quality knives, and you can send your knife off to them, and they'll make sure and give you a factory edge. My birthday passed and Christmas, and my wife bought me this knife sharpener. It's called Work Sharp Sharpening. This is the professional one, and man, it gives you different angles and everything. I'll talk about it in future videos so you can see more details about this. But if you don't sharpen it yourself, you can send it off to Benchmade and they'll get it right back to a factory edge. And if you're new to Benchmade, they have 5 different classes. They have the blue class, which is like your EDC everyday carry knives. They have the black class that caters more to tactical. They have a gold class that's like more collective, they're high-end stuff. And they're already high, so you know they high as giraffe pussy. Another class that they do have, they just added the waterline to it, which I did pick up a new waterline knife as well. And last, they had the hunt class, and I have a couple knives from that class as well. So let's just get into this and get this started. I'm going to start with one of my knives from the blue class, and it is a fixed blade. This one here. This is the Benchmade Bushcrafter. This is an older knife, but they just revamped it. And this knife comes with this polymer sheath. I like this a lot. To get it out, you have to push a button. And this knife here is a fucking beautiful knife. It's very heavy duty, as a Bushcrafter should be. It comes in carbon fiber scales, which I like a lot. And the liners in it is red. And the metal from this is CPM Cricut River. Cricut River is actually a very great knife. The steel is very heavy duty. It has great toughness and edge retention. It does lack a little bit as far as corrosion resistance, but with this knife, as you see, it comes with this coating and that helps out a lot with corrosion. It also, right here in this choil, is sharpened. So since it's a Bushcrafter knife, this is the Benchmade, the ferro rod. And if you want to start a fire, if you're in the woods or if you're into that, you can just use this ferro rod and swipe down. I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want to start a fire in my house, as you should know. But with this sheath, it comes where you can put this in. It kind of sucks with this sheath. This doesn't have no retention. But the knife is actually pretty good where it does have retention, so it won't come out until you push this button. So the next knife I'm going to talk about is my only Benchmade Dagger. This is from the black class, and let's go into it. As you can see, this is from the Sock P. It's from the, like I said earlier, it's from the black class. It's made with 440C steel. And it has a spare point. I had this on my plate carrier. It comes with a sheath, and I put that in the molly of my plate carrier. I'll show you guys that later in the video. God forbid if I'm in any type of fight and I run out of ammo, someone's on top of me, I could take this from my plate carrier and handle business. And this one comes from the Hunt series, and this is the Benchmade Sheep Country. This is a fixed blade. It has a drop point blade, and the steel that it's made with is S30V. I know people, they get so wrapped up in the different steels that you have on these Benchmades, but S30V is actually a great steel. And another thing that helps with steel is the heat treatment. So with S30V is a good, well-balanced steel, has good corrosion resistance. It's a stainless steel, and with this knife, it has good jimping on the back. So if you need to dress an animal in the wild, I use this a lot when I go like on my fishing trips. I cut my bloodworms with it. This comes with a sheath as well, but it's a leather sheath. And if you need to get close, it also has jimping on the back up top. So if you got to get a real precise cut, you can do that with this knife. I like this knife a lot. It has pretty good grips on it, and it has like different spines on the back to help with like just your grip. But this is a good blade, and this one is not too bad price-wise. Alright, the next Benchmade I'm going to show you in my collection, it is the EDC Wonders, one of the famous EDC knives out of your collection, and it is the 940-2. It was designed by Warren Osborne. As you can see here, it comes with G10 black scales. The back spacers is green anodized green, and the pocket clip is a regular 3-hole clip. It's not the deep carry. I kind of like the deep carry a little bit more, but let's just get into it. With the blade comes with a reverse tanto. It look a little weirdish to me, but I actually like the way the knife look. And for it to be so light and have such a long cutting edge, to be a shorter blade when it's folded, it has a very long cutting edge for this knife. It's a great knife. I carry this a lot, and I like it so much. This was my first 940. I have a couple other in my collection. Since we're already talking about 940 Benchmades, I'm going to show you one of my favorite ones in my collection. My beautiful wife got me this for my birthday. I haven't had an individual video for this one yet. I might have to do that on this channel, but this one is an exclusive one from Blade HQ. This is the 940. As you can see, it has G10 scales, but this one is natural G10. So to me, it gives off a jade, kind of like an Asian jewelry. I like the way it look a lot. It does have the split arrow pocket clip. I'm more a fan of a deep carry pocket clip, but this one is still good. It's not a bad pocket clip. Got good retention in it. This one doesn't come in S30V like the rest of them. This is actually a tool steel, but this is a high-speed tool steel. It comes in M4 steel, and the steel for this one, like I said earlier, no steel is perfect. This one doesn't have the best corrosion resistance as far as like rusting, but it is coated black. But what it does have is toughness, and it holds the edge very well for a very long time. The only upgrade I did on this, or switched anything on it, I switched the thumb stud. As you can see, this is a brass aftermarket thumb stud. I thought this is going to be the last 940 in my collection, and this is actually the 2024 SHOT Show exclusive. So it's a limited edition, and I'm happy I got this in my collection. This one here, as you can see, is still in G10. It's in a gray G10. And if y'all don't know me, red is my favorite color, so I like this a lot. So let's just get into it. Like I said, it's gray G10. The clip, it came with a black clip. I got a Benchmade clip, a deep carry, and satin. I kind of like it, but then I was like going back and forth with it. But I just left it with the satin, because it got 3 different colors on this knife. It's gray, red, and it has the satin metal look on there. But let's get into the steel on this one. This one is different from the other two that I showed you guys. This is another super steel. This is S90V steel, which is a stainless steel. It has great edge retention, and it also has good corrosion resistance, and it's a tough steel. You can see in the back, it says limited edition on it, and I like this knife a lot. It's kind of small. I kind of like the full size one a little bit better, but this is still a good EDC. It'll go away. You won't even notice you have it in your pocket. So I'm going to bring you guys another knife from the blue class. This is probably Benchmade #1 seller, or one of the #1 selling knives in the world right now. I'm going to bring you guys, this is the Benchmade Bugout. As you can see, the scales, it comes with the River scales. A lot of people don't like them, but this knife is like a feather. I could drop it and I think that shit'll float back and forth. But anyway, it's a blue scales. It comes with blue anodized back spacers. Give it a nice cool looking contrast. The thumb studs is blue anodized as well. It has a nice blade. It's a drop point blade. And we're going to talk about the steel on it. This is S30V. As I say, I am a big fan of S30V steel, but this is the Benchmade Bugout. Great EDC knife. I'm going to bring you guys another Bugout. Now this Bugout is the only one that I did real aftermarket parts on. And just take my advice, them aftermarket parts is a bitch trying to get them bitches back on. But this is my mini Bugout. As you can see, it has natural G10 grips. It's very similar to my 940 that I have from Blade HQ. So I try to mimic that one. It has a mini deep carry clip, which I do like. It disappears in your pocket. And let's just go into the steel. It has a drop point blade as the regular Benchmade does. And this is S30V. But this one, it came with white scales. But the white scales over time just got a little bit dirty. So I just didn't really want it anymore. And it was River scales as well. So this one is G10 and it has 0 flex. And it's still a very lightweight knife. But I did this knife to basically mimic my 940. I did the same upgrade on the thumb studs as well on this. I have the brass thumb studs. But I'm going to show you my 940 that looks very similar. They both have black blade coatings, and it has the brass thumb studs. They're a completely different knife, but they're both awesome EDCs. The next knife I'm gonna bring you guys, it comes from the black class, and it's the Benchmade Addict. This is a strong workhorse. It's one of their stronger folder knives that they have in their market. But as you can see, the scales, these are G10 scales. I like G10 a lot. And the pocket clip is a deep carry pocket clip. This is a monster. This is also one of the knives. As you know, with Benchmade, you normally use the XS lock to open it. But this one, I won't even have to use the XS lock or the thumb studs to open it. I can just use inertia. As you see, I didn't use the XS lock or thumb studs. Like, as far as fidget knives, this is one of the best. This is the designer of this is Shane Sieber, and this is the only Benchmade that I have that has serrations in it. The steel, we're going to talk about the steel on this one. This is CPM Crew Wear, and this is a tool steel. It's very strong, very tough, and it's just a great EDC knife. This is one of my favorites. I recently got this, and I couldn't be more happy with a Benchmade knife here. So this Benchmade that I'm bringing next comes from the black class and is an OTF knife. You guys might can already guess what it was, but in PA we were not allowed to own OTF or switchblades a couple years back, but they made it where it's legal now, and I just had to have one in my collection. And the one that I'm gonna bring you guys today from Benchmade, this is the Benchmade Infidel. The Infidel, it comes with black aluminum scales. I like that a lot. It comes with a deep carry pocket clip. And how you actuate the knife, you have this. You push it up, and to bring the knife back in, just push it down. This is a great carry. So the next knife in my Benchmade collection is my only Benchmade waterline knife. I have the Benchmade Adira. As you can see, this one comes with River scales, and it's actually pretty good because it has great grips on this. It kind of reminds me of a dolphin when this is open. I'll show you guys in a minute. But this one comes with a lanyard loop, and it does come with this orange lanyard. And what matches that is the thumb stud on this knife. The thumb studs have orange anodized finish. And this knife, as well as the adamas, like I said, off inertia, I can open this knife without using the access lock or the thumb studs. You see this beautiful knife and this blade, the shape, it has good jimping in the back there for good grip. The steel that's used on this is MagnaCut. MagnaCut is the new hot shit that everybody talks about. And MagnaCut is known for just being a well-balanced, all-around blade steel. This knife is very light, and I think this is just a good collection. You could EDC this knife, and it's very large as far as lengthwise of the blade, cutting blade. It's the Benchmade Griptilian. And this is the first actually Benchmade that I ever had. It's not the exact one, but I'm happy that I added another one to my collection. As you can see, the scales on this is also Grivery scales, which Grivery is just nothing but like a polymer, a different plastic. So it's lightweight, strong, but it's not bad scales. They get a bad rap, but strong scales. I never had an issue with it. But let's get into just the blade. The blade, as you see, is much different than a lot of the other blades. The shape of it is a sheep foot blade, and it doesn't have thumb studs on this. It kind of has like that circle with Spyderco knives. I'm not really big on the way Spyderco knives look, but this Benchmade here does look very handsome. It's a Mel Pardue design. And the blade steel on this is S30V. The first Griptilian I had was 154 cm steel. This one comes from the Hunt class. It's actually one of my favorite knives. Probably look very familiar to you guys. Maybe like your grandfather, Buck 110, or a cast knife. But this is the Benchmade Cricut River. As you can see, the scales on this knife, it has diamond wood. And it has aluminum bolsters, and around the pivot pin is orange anodized. And the orange anodized, it also goes well with the back spacer on this, and that's orange as well. And look at this beautiful blade. The blade on this is a clip point blade, and the steel on this is S30V. This one's very sharp. And it's just a great knife. I'm happy I got this in my collection. The Benchmade Tagout. As you can see, this one, it looks very unique compared to a lot of the other knives. The scales it has on it has carbon fiber, and I'm just falling in love with the carbon fiber on this. It's very nice looking, it's lightweight, and very rugged. This one has orange spacer, similar to the Cricut River I just showed you guys. It has a mini deep carry pocket clip, and it also has a lanyard loop that's orange as well. But let's get in to the steel of this firearm. The steel is MagnaCut CPM. It has a clip point blade shape very similar to the knife I just showed you guys, which is the Benchmade Cricut River. But this knife has a select edge. This is Benchmade technology, and I believe that it's 14 degrees on either side of this knife. So it's very thin profile, and it's a fucking awesome slicer. It has jimping on the back of it, so if you need to dress an animal and go in there and get a nice precision cut, you got a nice grip on there as well. But this is the Benchmade Tagout. Last but not least, this is one of my favorite Benchmades in my collection. It's also one of the most expensive. But then the irony of that is that this is the first Benchmade that came out with the access lock. This is the Benchmade 710. It's limited to only 2,000 made. This one here, scales, is aluminum scales. The pocket clip is a mini deep carry pocket clip. And the color combo on this is just fucking dope looking. It's black with FDE finishings. So around the pivot pin, it has FDE. It has FDE on the blade, and the backspacer also have FDE. This knife was discontinued at one point, but they decided to bring it back for the 25th anniversary. The designer of this is McHenry and Williams. And let's go into the blade. This is a drop point blade, and it comes in Magna Cut. Magna Cut steels we're going to talk about. That's the new hot shit right now. And this was limited to 2,000 made, and I have 1,087. And the irony of that is 187, get it? But anyway, I like this knife a lot. It's fucking pretty dope. It's limited edition. It's heavy duty, and I'm just honored to have this in my collection. But let's cut the bullshit. This knife is over. I want y'all to stay safe. Thank y'all for watching this. If y'all watch it to the end, y'all family, stay safe. And by stay safe, stay dangerous. And I'll catch y'all in the next video.
On my dad's page. Like, comment, and subscribe.